Well, let's talk to David Dunn, Professor of International Politics at the University of Birmingham in the UK. David, welcome back. When academics like you sit down and you write your book of politics for 2025, what will you write about the impact of this shutdown for both the US government and ordinary Americans?
Well, I think the big picture is that it shows the division, the polarization and the dysfunctionality of American politics at this point in time. What we have is that a Democratic Party, the only way they feel they have any influence on the political process is to shut the government down. And from their perspective, they could argue that they have publicised an important issue, important cuts to American healthcare costs, but they blinked at a point where they didn't want to continue with it, and therefore they even seem themselves to be divided politically, and they're subject to infighting. So the wider picture is of a polarised nation, of a dysfunctional government, and a divided society more broadly, and one that's hurting as a consequence of those divisions.
I guess many ordinary Americans will say a plague on both their houses. They're just annoyed with politicians of all parties. The parties are blaming each other. Who wins here? Who came out of this worse, Republicans or Democrats?
I think both parties don't come out terribly well, but the opinion polls clearly show that the public blame the Republicans because they are in charge of all three branches of government. And Trump in particular is seen as having partied during this crisis. His popularity ratings have plummeted to an all-time low, even for Trump. He had a big Great Gatsby-themed party in Mar-a-Lago at Halloween, and of course he's building a $300 million ballroom extension to the White House at a time when people were in real hardship and suffering from having no paychecks and suffering from the dysfunctionality of every aspect of state function. And the contrast between those things actually paint him in a very bad picture as a consequence of that juxtaposition.
Do voters move on, though? Do voters simply forget about this disruptive chapter when it comes to, for example, the midterms?
Well, again, I mean, the midterms are the crucial point as to how that affects the remainder of Trump's term in an office. But the opinion polls are showing that actually both the Democratic and the Republican parties have very low favourability. It's not just that the unfavourability of Trump himself automatically means the Democrats are more popular. They have a lot of work to do to actually gain in the opinion polls if they're to regain the House or they hope the Senate. And it's not clear that they are in a position to do that despite the divisions, despite the unpopularity of Trump himself, because they are not highly regarded among the American people either.
David, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on the programme again. David Dunn, Professor of International Politics at the University of Birmingham.